Some of you have perhaps dipped your toes in the elements books I wrote, the book of fire, the book of earth, the book of air, the book of water. You'll see like for example, in the book of fire, I talk about Aries, the first fire sign, but I also talk about Mars, the ruler of Aries, which very much has the nature of Aries. And I talk about the first house, which is like a behavioral expression of the energetic impulse that Aries represents. A line you've heard a lot already, probably going to hear a lot more. We are our signs and we do our houses, but they're closely related. Understand Sagittarius, the ninth sign, you're a pretty long way to understanding the ninth house. Just turn it into something a bit more behavioral and less of an energetic impulse, and then you'll feel Jupiter energy running through it. So these triads of sign, planet, and house are absolutely fundamental to astrological theory. Now, the relevance of that to Dawn Marie's question is simply that you have nothing in Aries, let's say. That's an empty sign for you. Maybe you got a planet in the first house, which will trigger a similar or parallel archetype. Surely you have the planet Mars somewhere in your chart, which again will put you in a position to relate to Aries energy. If your Mars is in Cancer, it's kind of quieter there, you got nothing in the first house, the Aries archetypal field is not as central to you, but it's not foreign to you. So we can all relate directly to all 12 signs. One of my favorite lines here, it's sort of fun to say, it's based on a familiar cliche that every snowflake is different. Yeah, but if you start looking at snowflakes under a microscope, they look pretty much alike. Every snowflake, 6 arms. It's kind of interesting. 6 arms always. So you get a positive space, then the negative space in between. Every snowflake is a little birth chart blank, if you stop and think about it. That's a bit of a footnote, but it's fun to say the way the number 12 pervades nature, and we see it. Even our own bodies, if you spread out your legs and your arms, and you got your head, your genitals, your 2 arms and your 2 legs, we're all little snowflakes too. This system of 6, and if you look at it carefully, to create the 6, you need the negative spaces. So a bit of a footnote there, but it's fun to say. The reason I'm saying it is that we are all as different as snowflakes, and we're all the same as snowflakes. We're all built out of exactly the same material. To be human is to be built out of Aries and Taurus and Gemini and so on, and all the planets. And what varies and what makes us different from each other is only the ratios, only the mixture, only the relationships among them. This is astrology's way of getting at our common humanity. I'd mentioned, I appreciated in Dawn Marie's question that she'd put empty signs and empty houses in quotation marks. That's because there really aren't any. Technically, maybe you got nothing in the sign, but you're not empty of that archetypal energy. It's there in you, in everybody.